Today, China is split into two factions. Its first faction is known as the People's Republic of China, which is led by the Chinese Communist Party. This faction is led by Xi Jinping and comprises the vast majority of China. Its second faction is known formally as the Republic of China, but informally as Taiwan. Taiwan is led by Tsai Ing-wen and makes up one small island off the coast of mainland China. This begs the question, what caused these two factions to split apart from each other in the first place? To understand the root of the conflict, it is necessary to grasp the backstory. The seeds of the plant that would eventually grow to become the Chinese Civil War were planted by Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Born to a poor family on November 12, 1866, Sun Yat-sen was destined to live the life of a peasant. However, he was academically gifted, eventually graduating from the Canton Hospital Medical School. Even with his newfound status practicing medicine, Sun Yat-sen was not content. His first glimpse of the political world occurred when he petitioned to Viceroy Li Hongzhang that China should westernize. From there, Sun Yat-sen's political career blossomed. An excellent propagandist, Sun Yat-sen could easily gather people on his side. Due to this, Sun Yat-sen was ultimately victorious, founding the Republic of China on January 1, 1912. Sun Yat-sen failed to retain rule for very long, but his effects on China were long-lasting. Sun Yat-sen died on March 12, 1925, but lived on through his dream, the dream of Chinese freedom. His will declared, "For 40 years I have devoted myself to this revolutionary cause. My aim is to attain freedom and equality in China. From my 40 years' experience, I see that to carry out the same, we must rouse the whole nation and ally with those nations who will treat China on an equal footing. Then let us rise and fight together. The revolution is not yet accomplished." The Republic of China that Sun Yat-sen helped create faced its first major challenge in the Sino-Japanese War. The Sino-Japanese War occurred during World War II and lasted from 1937 to 1945, and was perhaps the most important factor in the lead-up to the Chinese Civil War. Japan, a growing power, vied to exploit the natural resources in China. Prior to the Sino-Japanese War, the Kuomintang-led Republic of China fought the competing Chinese Communist Party. As a result, due to the external threat, the CCP and Kuomintang paused their internal strife to fight against Imperial Japan. However, Japan still inflicted devastation across China, committing unspeakable acts to Chinese soldiers and civilians alike. With devastation, naturally comes separatism, leading to revolutionary sentiment in China growing by the month. Following World War II, in 1945, nationalist leader Chiang Kai-shek and communist leader Mao Zedong found common ground and sought for a truce. However, in 1946, the full-scale civil war resumed. Initially, the nationalists held their ground against the communist threat. However, despite the nationalists being the established government, the communists periodically gained control over mainland China. The three major factors that contributed to this was their support from the common farmer, a more disciplined army, and larger arsenal. Moreover, while the modern Republic of China is a beacon of democracy, the ROC of the mid-20th century was a dictatorship ruled by Chiang Kai-shek. As a result, popular support for the communist opposition further increased. As the nationalists fully lost the battle for mainland China, they consolidated their force and retreated in droves to what is now known as Taiwan. The Chinese Civil War occurred at a pivotal time in world history. It oversaw the end of World War II and the start of the Cold War. The Cold War's major pressing issue was the global control by capitalism and communism. As a result, the United States, the capitalist hegemon, faced a major hit to its reputation following the communist victory. The US President, Harry S. Truman, was seen as weak and unable to maintain capitalist dominance. However, the United States refused to recognize their defeat, maintaining their view that the Republic of China was the true Chinese government until the 1970s. Once the United States stopped recognizing the Republic of China, the ROC's global influence dwindled, eventually having to hand over its seat on the prestigious UN Security Council to the PRC. The global recognition of the People's Republic of China represented a victory for the communist faction of the Cold War. Mao Zedong, now known as Chairman Mao, implemented social and economic legislation which proved disastrous for the fledgling nation in what is known as Mao's Great Leap Forward. The Great Leap Forward led to the deaths of approximately 30 million people in the largest recorded famine in human history. Despite this, the PRC ended up industrializing and becoming a global hegemon, growing its GDP to over 17.7 trillion in USD by 2021. This leads us into the modern day. In 2023, both the Republic of China and the People's Republic of China claim each other's land. Tensions remain high, and the advent of the Russo-Ukrainian War has led to fears of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. However, Ukraine's pushback against China has proven that it may be difficult, even for established powers, to attack nations backed by the United States. Taiwan, like Ukraine, has received significant aid from the United States in order to maintain its sovereignty. Nonetheless, tensions between the RSC and PRC remain high, with the future of Taiwan, or even the world, being in the hands of the PRC's president, Xi Jinping. That concludes the story of the Chinese Civil War and its global consequences. Thank you for watching the video.